Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is a study after George Inness. It's a 5x5. You might be looking at this going, whoa, I've never seen an Inness like that. Well, I've been working on a project where I'm accumulating quite a lot of different Inness paintings together, where I'm going to make quite a lot of studies, and this is sort of a tentative announcement of that. I have a video together, but I have a few little health issues or whatever, so I didn't want to put that out yet till I had some solid work on it. But this painting is actually interesting because I came across this, and it looks like a very simple, very small painting that he started, and just like, oh, I think I'll just do this. But what's great about it is it has so many of the hallmarks of what make an Inness painting an Inness painting. Now, this session, painting session you're looking at right now, is a sped up version. There is a live session, and if you remember, you definitely want to check that out, because the live session was done with a local student, and so is, about 3 hours long, but gives a comprehensive overview of the entire painting process, from basic color theory on up to, it's basically just, she didn't know anything much about oil painting at all, so that'd be a great one to check out if you're a member. And if you're not a member, that'd be a great one to get on board with. The membership area, it costs $6 a month, and YouTube runs it, so basically we split the dosh. They're in charge of it, but there's about 200 videos there, many of which are very teachy. In some cases, they show me preparing my reference and all sorts of different things, but I won't spend a lot of time on that. So what I liked about this was it was really simple, and I decided to do it quite small because I do so much explaining in these teaching sessions that doing something bigger would have meant we were there for quite a bit longer. But I basically took my student through, breaking down the painting into its basic constituent colors. Like, we have this sort of bluish greeny tone that's in the sky. Doing the drawing, why I used a grid, etc. And the neat thing is about the way I like to teach in that way is that she ends up with a painting and I end up with a painting. So, and also a really good video. This will be a good video too. I'm going to read a bit from a book called George Inness and the Science of Landscape. It's by Rachel Zadie-Deleu, and she's got a couple videos. I'll spell that name for you. It's Rachel, Rachael, and then Deleu, capital D-E, capital L-U-E. There's a really awesome video or two on YouTube if you put her name into the search, where she lectures on Inness. She's quite the expert, and she had a real theory about how he broke down his composition, and like so many things from the past. I mean, it's obvious to me, as someone that's done a lot of studies after Inness, and will be doing a lot more, that there is a method to his madness. He does things that are very different from a lot of other landscape painters. He breaks a lot of rules. Like, his number one favorite rule to break is that rule I was taught early on, which is don't put the horizon at the halfway point of your canvas. I ignore that completely now because he does it in like the bulk of his work, I would say. But he has a lot of, he was a very bright guy, very imaginative, a bit fevered actually, and he had a lot of theories that he would propagate about landscape painting. One which I recall right now was a theory of multiple horizons, so he wouldn't just have one distinct horizon, he'd have several layers where any one of them could be the horizon. They'd all be in proximity to each other, but I do like that idea of like stepping down the horizon. I think that's good. A lot of times the horizon can be a bit of a tyranny. If you've got like a straight line. Now, it works in this one because this painting is all about the right angle of the horizon. meeting the solo tree, and he's got it balanced. It's such a great iconographic painting because it shows you very clearly like some of the basic precepts of his compositional approach. Why does he have a log there, you know? And it was, trust me, in the reference image, you know, not much of a log. I could tell it was a log. He also has a little smidge of something on to our right, not far from the tree itself. So you know, we broke the painting down into just basic colors. You see me doing a lot of talking, and I'm helping her, but I thought it'd be good to maybe do this as a 15-minute video as well. It's a good one maybe for you to follow along with if you want to just try your hand at doing a little Inness. Heck, you don't really even need to be in the members area. To be honest, you can just follow along. And my reference image here, you take a screenshot or something, you know, and print it out and follow along, you know. I like the 5x5 format. It's been a while since I painted in it. But I tend to like really small paintings like this, especially for teaching purposes, because you get in, you get out, you got a nice little painting, and they're neat. They're like little jewels, you know. So let's read a little bit from this book. I just randomly grabbed a place here. We're just going to jump in and hope. Okay. This is from page 10 of the book. It's called George Inness and the Science of Landscape, and I gave you the author's name. It's a good book, quite text-heavy, but not a few critics characterize Inness's landscapes of the 1870s and 1880s as peculiar and strange. A man of remarkable originality in the study of nature, noted one commentator in 1879. This is a quote from that commentator. Inness throws a strangeness into its more ordinary aspects. It's not often that Inness paints a picture which can be understood by ordinary people. It was very strange for the time, and you know me, I'm in love with Inness. Not in that way, you know, but as an artist, I mean, I get so much from doing studies after his work, and even just looking at his work, and hopefully you do too. Even though this is a pretty simple one, but you're getting some from it, I hope. Anyway, back to the text, page 11 here. A third commentator called his foreground trees uncouth and distasteful, his trees and clouds strange and unreal, before pleading with the artist to leave off painting nightmares. It is almost a matter of course, stated the Chicago Tribune in 1875, that the highest appreciation for Inness should come from Boston, for it is in Boston that they understand strange and unaccountable things. This is great. You know, we forget, or maybe we don't even, many of you don't even know, but landscape painting and painting in general used to be so much more important than it is now. Now, you know, we can surround our life with prints. Heck, you don't even need to print out images. You've got these digital frames that'll put a different image on or painting on your wall. You know, on a timer, right? Every 2 or 3 minutes, you can change your art. But back then, back in the 1860s, 1870s, you know, there was a lot of writing about painting. Painting was very important, and if you wished to have a home that was regarded as a well-decorated home, you had original paintings up there, you know. And as far as prints go, there may have been some very crude or basic color prints, probably using lithographic stones. I believe a lot of that technology came on board, you know, early 20th century, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a printmaker. All I do know is that color reproductions were very rare, and so if you wanted something colored on your wall, you had a painting. And of course, most middle class and lower class people didn't have paintings on their walls. In many cases, they would do things like clip etchings out of magazines and things like that, and decorate their homes with stuff like that. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back into this the strangeness of Inness. Here's this one there. Sometimes Mr. Inness aspires to the plainly impossible, reported one commentator. He shows himself tormented with visions, that are not realizable of expression through any naturalistic medium. He succeeds notably in effects of surpassing weirdness. Again, we are not sure that Mr. Inness is quite right in his mind, wrote the New York Times in 1878. Now, keep in mind that 20 years after this, not even, they had parades when he passed. He was regarded as the greatest American landscape painter. So he was, because he was a trailblazer, because he changed things up. He went from painting things that were, you know, considered normal and respectable to painting things that were called weird and nightmares. Yeah. And a lot of that was the abstraction he brought into things. And you know, abstraction is always a very critical part of art. You know, to the point now, of course, where people are creating paintings that are purely abstract. And many people ask me, oh, do you ever do abstract work? And I did actually do quite a lot in the digital realm back in the day. But what I have to say about that is that every painting that I do must succeed on an abstract level. But to succeed strictly as an abstract, it's a pretty high bar. It's a pretty high bar, because you're not getting much. You're not giving people much to hold on to, you know. Anyway, let's see if we can get a little bit more of this read before the end of the video. Others described Inness's landscapes as unpleasant and jarring, even violent, despite characteristically brilliant effects of color, lush expanses of brown and green, gleaming yellow light, and sensuously applied paint. His pictures, wrote the Times, are violent instead of dignified, loud instead of deep in color. They would be improved by hanging in a smoky chimney. One guy's talking about one of his paintings, saying unpleasantly hard and uncertain in sentiment. A third noted that his paintings were violent and full of rough, crude contrasts without expression. Anything but. But so many people, you know, this is another thing I'll mention. That we'll leave that there for now. But you know, I have an appreciation. I consider myself to be a postmodernist. You know, where people categorize me as a traditional artist, but the way I see it, absolutely everything in painting that can be done has been done. And this is not necessarily speaking about narrative content or things you could do in that way. And it's not to say that every artist produces original work of some type that's not repeatable or reducible, you know. But that being said, pretty much everything you could do with landscape painting has been done. So my attitude was, well, what's the best? What's the greatest? What's the thing that I think people are missing out on? The thing that people should be paying attention to because it was the greatest, it was the best. And how can I take that greatness and imbue my work with some of that? That's my approach, and that's what I'm all about. And that's what this channel is all about, and that's what my pursuit of doing tonalist painting is all about. So hopefully you enjoyed watching me do this little study. Again, you know, it would be great to put the live version out in the whole public thing, but in some cases, you know, there's a bit of private dialogue and things that go back and forth. There's nothing major or anything like that, but definitely check out the members area if you want. It's exactly what you would have got if you'd come in and got a lesson from me here in Whangarei, Northland, New Zealand. So that's it for this video, and thank you so much for getting to the end here, and for your support. And if you are the type of person that's inclined to leave a comment, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, even if it's a smiley face or thanks Mike, appreciate you, or anything. It just warms the cockles of my heart. And I have had so many wonderful comments lately. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate your support. Appreciate you watching the video. We know there's a lot that you could be watching, so it goes without saying that I appreciate your time and support of this channel. And until I come back with another video, which, you know, God willing, will be very, very soon, do me a favor, do me a solid. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Try and be patient with people that have views that differ from your own, and stay out of trouble. God bless you.